Vanessa. My page is about creativity, creative maturity. I always say, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, Substack, but I always say that I survey art, culture, world religion, ancient old shit for wisdom about the creative process. Thank you for the likes. I'm still getting to know the YouTube algorithm. I don't know if likes to the thing likes help amplify this to the algorithm of YouTube, but if it does, I would kindly appreciate a like. If not, thank you anyway. Um, but yeah, the way it works. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm just getting started on here, so I have so much to share here that it's kind of have a hard time figuring out where to start. So, um, the way lives work, yeah. Propose a topic for me to discuss, or questions, or ask a question about your creativity. Um, that's the way it works. How do you structure your creativity into a business? Um, well, I've been doing this stuff full time for a few years. There's not, for me, to be honest with you, there's not yet a structure. This I feel like I'm laying the foundation of that structure. I feel like I've taken a couple of years to establish what I really care about. If I were to sit with your question for a second, um, yeah, what feels really important is to have given myself time to be experimental in the business side. So there's lots of things that I care about as an artist, as a creative. Certain themes, certain modalities, certain topics, whatever that I care about. Giving myself time to put all that stuff out into the world and then see how it feels, see how I feel with all of that stuff being engaged, like being audience facing. I think there's a difference between uh, being a creative that is just in your own interiority, dealing with like the inspiration, the creation of something. And then there's another phase that an artist has to be in when they're facing the audience. It's a completely different mode of operation. And hindsight on the last 2 years, frankly, a lot of the business success that I've had with my art has been not something that I necessarily planned for. So I guess what I'm trying to say is how to structure your creativity philosophy into a business. The first step I would be like, do you know what your philosophy is? Um, is that clear? Do you know what the big pillars of your work that you want to share into the world? Do you know what the high vision is? Do you know the large overarching aim of your creativity, of your stamp, your imprint on the world as an artist? Do you know the assignment that you've been given as an artist? And then from there, what I've done is just spend time experimenting with putting the kind of subcategories of that purpose into the world, and then giving myself time from there to analyze the data of that experimentation phase. Um, but I think in general, people want, these days, people want to be given tools to help themselves get out of their own way, whatever your modality is. People want to be seen, held, understood, and they want to be seen and understood and held and validated. They want to be shown that unplugging from the matrix is real and possible, and they want to be shown ways that they can do it themselves. I think people are done being students. But thank you for your question. If you've got, again, if you're new here, please just drop a question in the chat. Drop a question about your creativity. Creativity in relation to stimulants. Yes, I have experience with this. I think that, I'm not a medical professional, but I can say, who's in here? Hey, BCam. Yeah, drop a hello or something in the chat so I can see that you're here. Give you a shout out. Um, how do you structure? Oh no, sorry. 1G, ONG. Creativity in relation to stimulants. I think that a lot of artists are used to this concept. I say this a lot on my page. It's something that I'm kind of developing right now, for a bigger project to be shared later in the year. It's called Body of Work. It's all about the relationship of the body to creativity. And I think that a lot of artists are used to this concept that their creativity needs to be chased, pursued. They need to go get it. They need to feel inspiration, and then that they believe that this inspiration concept um, is something that you have to find or go get. And I think that what I always say is that creativity is not chased or pursued, that creativity is hosted, that creativity is the primary kind of fundamental mode of a human being, in the same way that a bird is oriented towards flight. A human being is oriented towards creativity always, no matter what. In the same way that even if that bird is sleeping, what they do is fly. Yeah. Even if a creative person is asleep, or if they've had years off not pursuing their art, not being quote unquote productive, etc., not feeling this rush of inspiration, they are always creative. And that understanding helps an artist orient their lives and how they think about creativity, inspiration, for example, editing, breaks that they take, from the idea that they are always creative no matter what. And I think that a creative person, I think it's very possible for us to misassociate inspiration with something that we're all conditioned into feeling, which is like seeing the feeling, understanding that the sensation of inspiration is more like a stimulus, more like pursuing inspiration, like it's pursuing a high, like it's pursuing, yeah, you're pursuing a peak experience. But I think in its essence, understanding how the body works, understanding what the spiritual texts, what the ancient spiritual traditions say about the relationship between creativity, spirituality, and the body. They, we all, that pursuit of inspiration as if it's a high, waiting for it to come, trying to do things to tinker with it for it to be there, is fear-based in nature. That it's derivative of this illusion of separation between us and creativity, that it's derivative of a deep belief that rests in the body, in the stories in the body, that say that creativity comes and goes. But does a bird's capacity to fly come and go? No. Thank you, guys. um, so I think that you can do whatever you want. If you need to use stimulants to do creativity, who cares? But is that need for it to be there coming from an idea, coming from a belief that you're not creative without the stimulant? You know what I mean? Of course you are. And it's about learning to understand, learning to see the world as if you are creative 100% of the time. When you sleep, I'll be creative when they put me in the ground, when I put my body 6 feet in the ground. And learning how to relate to yourself like that. And then, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I would answer that question. Um, can you guys hear me okay? I have a fan right here. Is it too loud? Or no? Okay, thank you. Questions about being a multi-hyphenate. Now, something that you're going to hear me say a lot also, is this idea that, guys, hear me. Just when I said what I said, there's a theme to everything that I try to say, is that creativity is your birthright. It is the foundation of who we are. Every spiritual text refers to their God as the creator. In the beginning, God created. Every tradition in the world refers to their deity as the creator. God, the ultimate, is a creator. That is his highest capacity, is to create, to make something that did not exist, to make it exist, to bring something from the invisible, incarnate, to the visible. That was what was so remarkable about Jesus Christ, was that he was God made flesh. It's extraordinary. Like, what is that? Even to make something that is not visible, that is not visible, to make it visible. That's wild. Human beings were given that capacity, which is the dignity, the foundational dignity of who we are. That is the human dignity, is our capacity to be godlike. That's what elevates us above every other creature. Now the question is about being multi-hyphenate. Underneath the question that I often get about being multi-hyphenate is, I believe, people having shame about being multi-hyphenate. They believe that they should have one. Why? Why do you think that you should have one skill? Why does having two or many interests feel like a burden? Why does it feel like war and not an embarrassment of wealth, of riches? You know what I mean? So any of those that deal with being hyphenate, please feel free to drop it in the chat. Yes. Kai Beauty says, had a question. I want to isolate a pattern. I've been at war with myself. How do I deal with being a multi-hyphenate? And then with some time and some space, you answered your own question. What my thesis is that for many of you, your question that you think you have is not a question. You do have the answer. What you have alongside the answer to your own question is fear, doubt. You don't know how it's going to feel. But you answered your own question. How do I deal with being a multi-hyphenate? I feel at war with myself. And then you answered it. The war that you feel at being at yourself is that I'm 35 years old and I've been waiting to find my space. And the reason that I feel like I don't belong is because I see that I have to create the space. And I'm not creating space for myself. I'm creating space for other people. That's the war that you're in. The war to announce that thing, to feel and understand that truth, to situate yourself in the driver's seat. That's the war that you're in. You're not at war because you've been cursed with multiple interests. In order to create space for people, for Black women, as you say, you will need many interests. You will need many mediums. You will need to pull from a variety of places, sources, talents, gifts, stories within yourself. And I would wager that all of you within this question, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? What does it mean? Well, what if I have this? What about this fear? What about this fear? The answer to that one was within yourself. Why would it not be? For a second. Now there's skills-based things that you need to learn. I'm not a skills-based girly. I'm more about the spirituality of becoming a mature artist, coming of age into artistry, which it does require coming of age. It does require getting over yourself in a very serious way. Inside of all of you is the answer, because you are the one that has to answer it. You, in communion with capital C creator. We're little case creator. Little case C creator. Capital C creator says, let's talk about it. And then you listen and you find the answer. Inside of all of your questions, if I really look at all of your questions, the answer is even inside the way that you phrase the question. I promise you, if you look carefully enough, if you believe in yourself enough, if you believe that I'm creative even when I sleep, even if I took 10 years away from this art stuff, I'm creative no matter what. It's not, imagine a bird not thinking that they are a bird. I'm not a bird. What do you mean? Am I a bird because I'm asleep and we only fly during the daytime? What, brother? Inside of the question, the reason that you have a question is not because you lack the answer. The reason that we have questions sometimes, if you really listen to yourself, is because what your artistry is craving and desiring is needing for you to step up to become the person who answers your question, to to graduate from this need to be validated by even me, which is the undercurrent of everything that I say. Teaching you to take yourself seriously, listen to yourself, trust your instincts, put yourself into the arena, which includes making huge mistakes. But so fucking what? And what you've identified is exactly what I'm saying. I'm trying to find my place in the world, but I realize that I'm the one that I can't find my place in the world anymore. I have to create it for other people. That's the place in the world. That's your place in the world. You're not a child. Your place finding your place in the world is child stuff. Finding your place in the home, in the village. And adult shit is creating the village. That's your place in the world. Only the matrix convinced us otherwise. That we have to reduce ourselves to these subcategories that are really just marketing sub buckets, consumerist ways of dividing ourselves. Where do I belong? You belong wherever other human being belongs, in the seat of creation, creating something that helps people. That is that in the same way that a bird is oriented towards flight, a human being is oriented towards creating something that helps other people get through this life. I take pride in my artistic practice, but I feel like I'm not well read enough to communicate it clear enough in fine art circles. Where do I start building an intellect to better talk about my work? Well, I don't know the medium that you're talking about, so I wouldn't know. But this is another question where I feel like the answer is in the question. What do you mean, where do you start? One of my favorite quotes about it's not about creativity, but I apply it to creativity. And I especially this question I get, how do I begin or where do I begin? Is a question that, man, let's look at that question. Where do I start? How do I start walking? How do I start painting? How do I start reading? How do I start loving? How do I start eating? My favorite quote is, in order to begin, begin. I'm curious. I can try my best to answer your question. I don't know your medium, Jill. In order to begin, begin. If you desire to communicate better about your craft, read about your craft. How do you start walking? By walking. That's the best I can do with your question until you tell me a little bit more. Oil painting. I feel like my work is so hard to put into words when people need me to talk about it at openings and videos. I paint so I don't have to talk, if that makes sense. Why do you need to talk about it? Do you need to talk about it? I don't know what you're going through, but if you don't need to talk about it, who says you need to talk about it? Why does it need, and what coherent manner do you believe that it needs to sound like? What if I how many artists are I can't think of too many artists, painters, visual artists that are gifted orators. Like that's not your gift. If it needs to be weird and confused, and if you need to speak symbolically, metaphorically, who cares? But my question is, I mean, try to write about your own writing. Practice. Write about it. Ask yourself why you're painting, what your subject is, what you care about. It doesn't need to be described pound for pound. What is the highest vision of your art? What do you want to communicate? Do you know the answer to it? Do you know the answer, or are you just painting straight from the gut, which is fine? But if you are not in tune with the highest vision of your art, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? Do you know the painter Hilma Klimt? Her paintings don't make any fucking sense, and they're impossible to describe. That's what I did. I just started. I decided to be a full-time musician in a country with no music industry, no structure, no royalties, no music venues, and now I'm doing that for 10 years. Yeah. Hilma did. You need to follow your calling. God will show you the next steps along the way. Yes, identify all of you. What is the high vision of your art? What are you here to do? What's the assignment? No longer are we here to do what we want. We are taught to, we have, I believe at least, that we are given something. What are the questions we got? You guys know the high vision of your art? Or do you have other questions? A little quiet today. Critiquing your own work. Do you have a process or timing? Thoughts on how to approach editing yourself? Um, Timing. It depends on the deadline. Depends on what. I know that editing is. It depends on your medium also. Critiquing your own work. For process or timing. For me, my process is if it's singing, I have a voice teacher, and I listen to my recordings. Know that editing your work is painful. Nobody enjoys editing. Thoughts on how to approach editing? Um, yeah, the I think Steve Martin, the comedian, says that editing is writing is subconscious, is unconscious. Editing is conscious. Um, my editing process, I try to. This is going to sound crazy, but I try to remove anything that that feels masturbatory. Like anytime that I feel, at least in writing, if I'm trying to get something off of the page that feels, if I find myself wanting to be understood in my writing versus trying to help the audience be understood, that's a lot about what my writing editing process feels like. Am I trying to release something in myself? It's a process of refining from releasing and having a catharsis to actually being of some usefulness. That I don't write to, I do not write to have to make the audience understand me. I write to make to be someone who can help the audience to understand themselves. Do you experience freeze response? How do you get out of the head into the body? Meditation, movement, somatic work. Um, Tend to your body. Tend to your body constantly, not just when you are frozen. Like your body can help. Your body has the capacity to help you get out of freeze by itself. Tending to the body is essential for your creativity. Yes, everybody deals with freeze. Can you talk about art and being creative in an AI driven world? What aspect of it? I think my insecurity stems from not coming from an academic background And now being in spaces where a certain art lingo feels unnatural is being used. I highly appreciate your videos. Yeah, fuck that old school world. Don't listen to that insecurity. That's what y'all do. Y'all be listening to fear like it's wisdom. I'm afraid of this. And then you, whatever your fear is telling you to be afraid of, you actively choose to be afraid of. That's wild. Whatever you're afraid of is absolutely something that you should turn 180 degrees in the other direction for. Who cares about that fancy? Who said that you needed to sound academic? It's obvious that that's not important for you, or else you would have been selected by the institution 15 years ago. They didn't select you because you're not supposed to do that. Nobody wants to. No, we ain't doing institutions anymore. It's 2026. The Epstein files are released. We're not doing institutions anymore. That shit's done. Who fuck them? Not. I don't mean that. There's excellent people in there, but like, do you know what I mean? Like this. Yeah, man, you're an adult. You made it. You don't have to follow the leader anymore. You don't have to listen. You don't have to be selected. You don't have to wait for permission. You've done. You're done. You're not a kid anymore. You can do, paint, write, say whatever you want. Whatever God has told you to do with your life, that's what your assignment is. Nothing else. Nothing else. There's if you don't like the TikTok algorithm, you can go to YouTube, you can go to Twitter, you can do all these things. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. What you do need to do is what you're told. The thing that you should be listening to are not what that damn institution, those academic spaces say. If that's not your assignment. If it is your assignment, then you need to figure that out. What am I reading right now? I am reading. I always forget the name of it for some reason. Addiction to Perfection. The Still Unravished Bride. It is the single greatest book about perfectionism that I have ever read in my life. It is eviscerating me in the best way. It's so deep. It's so beyond this stupid ass self help book. This woman, the author is Marion Woodman, I love her work. She's a Jungian analyst and mythology scholar. It's outrageously comprehensive, the way that she talks about perfectionism in the body, and it's I can't even begin to adequately describe how it's life changing. Um, Creativity in relation to sexual energy, repression, and transmutation. Creativity is sexual energy. Creativity and sexual energy are the same energy. They're both about creation. They're both oriented towards creation. That's what I'm saying. Do you see what I'm saying? Creative energy and sexual energy are the same thing. Human being is designed to create. Uh, I'll take time for a shameless plug. I could help. I'd be grateful with a like, subscribe. I'm trying to build this online community. So yeah, I'm a full time artist. Um, Trying to make ends meet. I have a lot to give and build and share, and your contributions in one way or the other through becoming a subscriber or a paid subscriber help me more than you realize. I hope you don't feel that. I mean, even if you do feel that I'm asking for your money, that's you can think what you want, but it helps me a lot. So any support you can provide is greatly appreciated because man, I'm on a mission, guys. I am on a mission. Thank you. I'm trying to make it a week long thing, um, for sure. I think one of the biggest issues I'm having today is longing to be creative, but having this paralysis by analysis. Uh, you long to be creative. You already are creative. I is there something that you can do today? We're analyzing again by talking about it, I would say. Is there something that you want to create that you can create today? Is there some, I don't know what your medium is. Is it painting? Is it writing? Is it content creation? Is it poetry? Can you commit to by the end of the day getting something done? It could be, if you're a poet, write a haiku and know that it'll likely not be good. We're doing it again. Action solves it. Is art exhausting? Extraordinarily. Is labor exhausting? Creative is exhausting. It's the only thing that matters. Yes, it's exhausting. It's exhausting, especially if you're getting started. Every time I write or create anything not for work, I become so exhausted. Yes, because you're using your actual faculties. At work, you are, and also because we spend so much time at work. We spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week at work, and you change gears completely. But yeah, no, creativity, my I used to work in finance and the fashion industry before that and the fitness industry before that. It was exhausting because of the demand, but creativity, my art is the only, like, the work itself is the only thing that makes me cry, question myself, get deeply into my feelings. I'm anticipating interacting with the audience in some way. I'm feeling the need of the audience through time and space that they will have for this piece of work should it ever find them. It's incredibly labored. It's incredibly meaningful. Art is not easy. Art's not easy. Art is not easy. Art is extraordinarily difficult. Art is hard. It is so hard. And I try to quit every day. Anyone telling you that this shit is easy is lying to you. Is lying to you. Maybe they have some aspects that feel easy. Maybe they've made some aspects of the process comfortable for themselves. But being engaged with the big bang of the universe will damn near kill you. Yes, of course. Who is telling you? Why do you guys think that this creativity is supposed to be easy? And here you are disengaged. Thank you so much. Who is that? Oh my God. I can't tell you what this feels like. It's like, thank you so much. Power and pep. That means a lot to me. You have no idea, guys. I'm an artist just like you, putting my shit out here without knowing what I'm doing. All I know is that I'm supposed to do it. That's all I know. But y'all got to stop thinking that creativity, it's the thing that you do is that you think, it's like everybody, we all do this. And we think, oh, this next step is hard. And so that must mean there's something wrong with me. I feel friction here. I feel friction here. I feel friction when I edit. I feel friction when I need to put my work out there. I feel friction when I need to sit down and write for the first time. And you think that because you feel friction, that there's something wrong with you. The friction is what you're supposed to feel. You're a human being. You are not meant to be an angel, or you're not meant to be this upper dimensional being that just flies through the cosmos without friction at all. The human life, the human experience is about friction. It's about sensation. It's about density. And if you feel that concentration of density, man, you better fall to your knees and thank God. I swear to you. Oh my God, everyone's like, I have a fear of being seen. You don't have a fear of being seen. Someone on the internet told you that and you believed them because you've been on the internet too long. We all started getting on the internet too long in quarantine. You don't have a fear of being seen. That feeling before you go to put your work out there is called vulnerability. Vulnerability is gnarly. Vulnerability is essential. The end. You don't have a fear of being seen. I always say this. You don't have a fear of being seen. There is only being seen and what it feels like. Is the villain Sean free? No, it's not. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Exactly right. Holly is picking up what I'm putting down. Art is difficult, and you want to be engaged with something. You want to have said that you tried and got clobbered by the difficult thing. Who is the guy that said that? Art is a life is about being defeated by greater and greater things. Man, if you don't have anything to show for yourself by the end of your life, you're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed. You want to be able to say, for the next challenge, you want to be able to say, all right, I kind of know how I'm going to, all right, I kind of think I can, I know, I don't, that's hard, but I know that you know what I mean? Like, you can run a marathon because you ran a half marathon. Yes, AI, guys. AI, please be careful with that. Please be careful with that. If you got to use it to be more efficient, okay, I understand because you got to get the bills paid because it's easy because you're tired. That's fine. But oh my God, please do not, please keep find conscious awareness and pray for more conscious awareness, more discernment about what aspects of the human condition that system is destroying in us. The capacity, like, for example, please do not put things that you should be praying about inside that artificial machine. Please, please, I beg you. Now, I don't know if I'm right about this. Lord knows that. This is just my feeling. But anything that you should be suffering with in a spiritual capacity, anything that you should be praying about, anything that you should be taking the long road, going straight through it, do not outsource your spiritual matriculation to the artificially intelligent machine. I beg you. Do not do that for your creativity. Develop your skills. Why? Because we know that AI world is coming for all of us, man. It's coming for the species, and something needs to be preserved. Ask yourself, what in me is universal and eternal and needs to be preserved? How am I part of, what aspect of me belongs to the tradition of being alive? Do you see what I'm saying? Well, not on my watch will this aspect of humanity get swallowed. It's a question that you should be saying as an artist, deep down. Mm. She will understand from the bottom of her heart, embellished by pain's engraving, how great thou art. Oh my God. What is that? Where's that from immediately? What is that? I'm gonna get that I'm gonna get that tattooed on me today. You think I'm kidding? The tradition of being alive is called humanity. I didn't make it up. That's what I'm saying. I've reached a realization, untitled 15E. I've reached a realization of connection and nexus between creation and destruction within the creative individual, and I now know that it's part of the package. I'd love your thoughts on this balance. I reach a realization of the connection and nexus between creation and destruction within the creative individual, and I know it's a part of the package. I'd love your thoughts on this balance. The balance between creation and destruction. Can you tell me what your medium is? That would help me a little bit. Can we take a second for this quote, though? What do you guys think of power and prep? Power and pep, excuse me. She will understand from the bottom of her heart, embellished by pain's engraving, just how great thou art. Am I the only one that's moved by that? Are you guys awake? I'm the only one. What? I'm leveled by that. The Good Hand by Woven Hand. Thank you so much. I think that I think creativity and destruction go hand in hand for sure. I think that what it feels like for me in my life is that I'm being destroyed. It's this uphill journey to a certain point of being created and molded and shaped, and then past a certain point, and this is what I call the creative coming of age, that it's this descent and that you're peeling back the onion layers of this lifetime that were put on you. And then you're discovering within those layers the supernatural nature of yourself. And a lot of that times there needs a destruction is required. Yeah, I agree with you. I appreciate that you normalize the dynamics of artistry. We struggle because the path is rarely reflected. Yes, we're in silos. And you think that creativity has to do with this, the matrix orientation, the matrix, the commodification of art, the commodification of creativity is not creativity. Creativity is a spiritual endeavor. Hey, oh my gosh. Yeah, TikTok, I'm not on so much anymore. TikTok feels demonic to me. TikTok feels like the dark web. Like I love a good scroll session, but sometimes the things I'm forced to see, it's like, man, I didn't want to see that. And the nature of the commentary, like the discussion is not as engaged. It's not as, it's not as, you know, I don't know. But how are you? What's going on? It's so amazing to see you on here. But yes, I don't know. Does anyone know how this YouTube algorithm works? I always ask for likes and subscribes. If anyone wants to join as a supporter, that would let me know. I'm trying to um, give some supporter only content. I have an online community and we have weekly office hours and I have a bunch of those videos. I think I'll start sharing that stuff for paid subscribers on YouTube. Um, I give lectures all the time and I have hours. I mean, I'm saying I have, at this point, I probably have days worth of content that I need to put, and I'm over TikTok for sure. And I want it. I like long form. I like discussions like this. You know what I mean? Um, how do I differentiate what is a fear I have to push through and what is simply just not my path? Uh, Jill, what do you know? What you should know? What Jill? Answer this question either now or in yourself. What is the highest vision of your art? What's your purpose? What's your purpose? What's your purpose? What is the highest vision of your art? What's the highest vision of your art? Let the purpose be that let the purpose and let art answer. Can you ask art? What about this? Can you ask art? How do I determine? Maybe you don't determine. Maybe art determines it for you. Maybe that's not possible for you to determine. Maybe you have to consult with some objective higher thing. What is the every artist needs objectivity, a foundation, an undergirdle that does not move, that is stronger than you. It could be your purpose. It could be, I mean, I always say this that creativity is spiritual. In the beginning, God created. Do you have a spiritual process with which you can really tinker with these questions? This is what I'm saying being an artist is about. It's about how do I do this and that? You need to develop that process for yourself. How I get through figuring out what is fear and what is real is very different. It's going to be completely different than it is for you. How do I get through? One, I know what fear feels like in my body. I know what it feels like. I know what it sounds like. I know that fear wants me to not do something. Fear wants me to stop. God wants me to go. God wants me to contribute to my creativity in some way. Fear tells me that it's too difficult, that I can't, that I should stop. Fear tells me that I am not qualified in some way. Fear tells me that I have to worry. Fear tells me that I am not unconditionally loved inside of my creative process in some way. Yes. Introducing J. Crew says, yes, if listen to me, guys. If your creativity is stuck and you don't have a spiritual process and you don't have a deeply embodied process, a process of engaging with the body that is oriented towards creativity, please think about those relationships. If you are stuck in your creativity, but your spirituality is also stuck, think about that. Maybe there's a relationship that's meant to be interrogated. Maybe those are related. Every single tradition in the world understands that creativity is a spiritual pursuit. Not kind of like spirituality, not adjacent to spirituality. They're the same thing. That creativity is spiritual. And everybody's in this world trying to solve it at the level of self-help truisms from the internet. Also, bring your body with you. Do you have a meditation practice for which you can clearly discern in your mind? Do you have a prayer practice? Do you move the body? Do you move your body because you're creative, or do you move your body because you want to be skinny, or because you want to be healthy even? Your body has a billion different processes and mechanisms within it that answer the question. Your body is also, your nervous system is always at, the nervous system was the most fundamental, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's the most important thing we've got is the nervous system. Your body is always asking the question, am I safe? Am I safe? Are we safe? Are you safe? Is this safe? Is this safe? Am I safe to go on that date? Am I safe to get on the subway? Am I safe to stand up? Am I safe to be sitting here? Am I safe to breathe this way? Am I safe to eat that? Am I safe? Is it safe right here? Am I safe now? Constantly. Are you safe? Your body wants you to be safe. What? And then within that, because that's the fundamental message that your body is sending out to the world, to you, to other people, to yourself, to your ears, to your organs, everything, your bones. Your body has a billion different ways of answering yes, to answering that question in the affirmative. Yes, we're safe. Tend to your body's capacity to answer that question in the affirmative. Shake the tension. It needs to speak also. Thank you, guys. What other questions we got? Yeah, I don't know about TikTok anymore. I've seen so many dark things on there that I didn't ask for. I'm like, you want, please, I've said this before, but if you've not heard me say it, do not open any of these apps, these scrollable apps, unless you have settled your nervous system. Don't do that. This these apps want you off of your purpose. Your objective as a human being is to fulfill your purpose. That's your objective, every soul, and they know that. And they're trying to funnel the energy that is this profound big bang that wants to expand and create. This profound capacity in all of us to expand with love in every direction. Oh my gosh, Angelina! Oh my God! Thank you, Angelina. I feel like you had a question. Please, answer it. Please ask it again if you. I think I missed it because of my attention span. Oh yeah, don't get me started on joints. Don't get me started on joints. Hypermobility I do not have. But thanks for peeping my hand movement. It feels strange, but I'll take it. It's part of the Scorpio, what do you mean? It's part of the cost of being online. But I totally agree. You guys get into joints. I just discovered a universe inside of joints. The joints are so involved, man. Oh my God, if you're stiff in your joints, that means that your body has a hard time. Your joints have signals or receptors in them. Angelina, again, thank you so much. Your joints have signals in them for sure. Receptors. Some of the loudest communication back to your nervous system that you're safe comes from your joints. If you're stiff or hypermobile, I guess you're going to have a hard time answering yes. Stability, safety, and also So let's say you're stressed, you're a little tense or something like that. Then you meditate for 5 minutes and then you feel better. It's not, it's the you're just the stability and bone deep cosmic level of safety that is provided from you taking control of your own nervous system and turning it into something that feels more safe. It's not just the fact that the nervous system is in this more regulated state that makes you feel better. It's that you were in control of it. That mastering the it's not about being stable all the time necessarily, because life happens. But once you know, like, okay, I know that if I go do this scary thing, I know that either the body will take care of me or I'll take care of my body. And that is the safety that you crave. You do not crave validation the way that you think you do. You crave this capacity to wield and master your and be in control of your artistry as you are, in the godly way that we are taught to be, in the godly way that we're supposed to be. Masters of the vessel. I tend to my body as if it's a cathedral, a temple. This technology, a cathedral and a temples are technology of the indwelling. Scorpio Island, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Any I love this question, Jill. I love this question. Any recommendations on the body being the host of creativity? Any sacred spiritual text in human history? You think I'm playing and that's not the answer? You're gonna be like, that's not what I meant. I want something more specialized. No. Read the Yoga Sutras. Read the Bhagavad Gita. Read the Bible. Read the Old Testament. Read the New Testament. Read the Gospels. Read the parable of the sower. Read the Tao. It'll tell you this exact thing. I'm not making this up. This is not a reframe. I'm just repeating something that's been existing that our world has lost. We've fragmented and isolated creativity away from the body, away from spirituality, because all of those other things, embodiment, spirituality, creativity, they've all become vocations, commodities. Read the Yoga Sutras, read the Bhagavad Gita, read the Interior Castle, read this Dark Night of the Soul by Saint John of the Cross. Any spiritual text, it's full of it. Read the book of Genesis, my guy. Read the story of Jesus Christ, where God became flesh. Read Corinthians. Read First Corinthians in the Bible. Care for your bodies like it's a temple, because it is. The author Matthew Fox writes a lot about creativity in this way, though, if you want somebody contemporary. We can't dissociate from the body, from the mind, Angelina says. The moment you start eating well, exercising, and doing mobility, everything changes. Man, I'm telling you, I'm doing this right now. I know that in 2 months I have to do something pretty scary. So I'm starting now. I'm eating the right food now because I want I'm eating to be peaceful. I go to the gym for my creativity, not because this and that. And when your body's capacity, let me see. The Upanishad, yes, you get it. You get it, guys. Let me see. Let me do this other video. Or let me show you this. I have a video on my page called Body of Work. It's a series that I feel very passionate about. I just started it. Am I allowed to drop it in the chat? Can someone go to my page and drop it in the chat? Or I don't know how this works. It's a video called Body of Work. Celia! Oh my God. Yeah, what are my main takeaways? Thank you for this question. I will gladly tell you. Hold on, I have tons of notes. Thank you for asking. So Celia's talking about this is the video that I'm talking about. It's called Body of Work. It's a picture on my page. It's the most recent one. I posted it about a week and a half ago. Body of Work is a series where I'm going to start surveying ancient wisdom, art, culture, world, religion, philosophy, everything for wisdom about the creative process, specifically how the body is designed to help you in the spiritual pursuit of creativity. That the body is designed primarily oriented towards supporting your creativity. That the body responds outrageously to the intention to be creative. It wants to help you with that more than it wants you to do anything, of course. Of course. How do you tell your body it's okay to be seen? Tell your body it's okay to be seen. In order to begin, begin. How do you tell your body it's okay to be seen? It's okay to be seen. It's okay to be seen. Breathe. Do you have a breathing practice? Oh, it didn't try to work. Okay, well, you'll go to my page and you'll see it there. But Cecilia wants me to go through this, so I wrote down. Hold on, let me find this. I also have a Substack piece on it. So, what are my big takeaways? One, that the environment that I was in the jungles of Mexico, and I was on this wellness retreat, and I went to this wellness retreat to put some of these, to kind of build this protocol that I have been building after researching all these ideas about creativity in the body from all these ancient sources. And I went to this retreat because she and I were aligned on that. And I went with the intention to engage in wellness from the perspective of creativity, not to be healthy, but to be an artist, and just to test some of that out. And immediately, this retreat was not one of those retreats that was like fancy and like Instagrammable. It was, I'm convinced it's the best retreat space in the world, but it's like, it was so devoid of anything that looked Instagrammable. And so that's one of my first takeaways: how much my creativity responds when my body is in in an honest environment, when it's in an environment that is actually how showed me how starved I am, how much every single day when we're scrolling, it's all this content that's beautiful, how much my life has been oriented around pursuing stuff that's content. That's stuff that we all know. That's stuff that we all know in our minds and our spirits, but I didn't realize how much my body responded to that. My physical body and my creativity would benefit from being in a more honest environment, that it was stripped of all of this commodity beauty, trying to sell something, trying to retain clients, all of that stuff. More, like you go, if you fly first class or something and then like they treat you different. My body doesn't like that. It feels nice a little bit, but my body likes the real shit. And my creativity responded to that. So finding a way to put my body in honest environments is one of my big takeaways. But primarily, the big takeaway is that the body drinks in the intention to host creativity the way that we drink in water. The body wants you to be creative. The body wants you to set a creative intention, and the body wants to support that intention more than it wants you to heal something. Your lungs are not necessarily here. Your body doesn't want your lungs to heal. Your body wants you to take a deep breath so that you can be courageous with putting yourself out there towards creating something new. Every function in the body is designed to help you be creative. Does that make sense? This is what I'm talking about. I'm just interjecting here, Celia. Just dealing with your guys' fears with love in my heart. I don't judge you at all. I'm on your side aggressively. Afraid of being called selfish ever since I started really being creative. They're going to call you selfish. Who cares? What? Okay, you're selfish. So what? You're selfish. Have you sacrificed? Have you had to spend time trying to refine your skills, and have you had to sacrifice to be here? Does it feel good? Does your art need somebody who is more selfish about things than the random Joe who doesn't care? Yes, you are selfish. Face it. Who cares? You're an adult, my guy. You're an adult. You're flawed. There's things maybe you're selfish to a fault. You need to be able to face that and be honest about it so that you can learn how to manage your creativity, which might have a selfish little shading to it. Manage that aspect of you and still be in relationship to other people. You cannot. Everybody's selfish also. I'm afraid of being selfish. Ask yourself, does my art need to be created, or do I need to, what's more important to my body? That the art get out, or that I sit here and worry about being selfish? If you go into the arena knowing and accepting that you're selfish, then you also have to take responsibility for it. That's how you master both. Now back to this list. Second takeaway, that the diaphragm holds a fear of disappointment and a fear of being seen. This fear of disappointing people, maybe, that you're asking about in terms of being selfish, or this fear of being seen that the other person was asking about, your diaphragm holds those stories. Your diaphragm does not want, is helping you to help insulate you and strengthen you in your body. Your diaphragm is a support system in the body for the emotional experience of disappointing other people. The body, it's the shield. The diaphragm wants you to, is stronger is strong for you when there's disappointment, when you have disappointed someone, when you've let somebody down. The diaphragm helps you do all that people pleasing to keep you safe. Because we're tired people pleasers now, but there was a time in your life when that people pleasing needed to be there. The diaphragm supports you to do that. Now, if you have a fear of being seen, a fear of disappointing other people, look at your diaphragm. Talk to your diaphragm. Do some diaphragmatic release. Do some diaphragmatic breathing. Do some full body breathing. Get some body work, some fascia release around the tissue. And I promise you might have a different relationship. You'll be like, okay, I'm safe again. That diaphragm is supple again. It can help me. Your diaphragm wants to insulate you from that experience. It's helping bear the load. It's the undergirdle. The diaphragm is the undergirdle to your breathing mechanism, the undergirdle to the breath, which is where we as human beings receive inspiration, is through the mechanism of the breath. Yeah. The diaphragm holds your fear of disappointment. What else did I learn? The body has the capacity to help you override shame. Something that happened to me when I was on this retreat is that I was eating. They have this beautiful farm to table. They have buffets for all 3 meals of the day, plus snacks. Farm to table. You can eat all you can eat. It's ridiculous, and the most beautiful food I've ever had in Mexico. And I gained a solid 7 pounds of honest fat in a week. I was overeating every single day. Now I've by God's grace, I've overcome my disordered eating phase when I was like a teenager. But now I don't worry about it too much, but I'm like, man, I'm kind of upset that I gained 7 pounds. No, when the body is well, when the body is healthy, the body's capacity to make you feel good and radiant is louder and stronger than, oh, I should be skinnier. Said another way, you do not have to get over a fear of being a certain size. You do not have to get over the shame of whatever it is in your life. The body's capacity to make you empowered over and above and louder than shame is stronger than you realize. Does that make sense? So if you tend to your body, all those things that you're ashamed of being selfish, ashamed of being seen for some reason, what if being seen makes you feel better also, by the way? What if it makes you feel better? What if a human being is designed to be seen? What if an artist is there to be seen? And the reason you feel sick now is because you're not actually being seen. Just a thought. Thank you. If you're liking this, any support, any likes, subscriptions, support, it's greatly appreciated. This stuff is my full-time job, and I have a lot to get out. So anything that you can offer would be great. Anyway. When you get 5 TikTok ads in a row and like, what am I doing right now? I don't understand, Holly. That answer is a portal to much permission. Oh, I'm so glad, guys. Okay, let me keep going this. See, the body, y'all got to take care of your bodies. Your body's there for you. Let me see. I'm full of it. What else did I learn from the retreat? The body does not punish you for forgetting or for taking time. The body does not punish you for taking time. Not at all. What does that mean? That let's say that you have this, let's say you take time away from your art. Let's say, okay, let's give another example. Let's say you break your leg. Let's say you are an experienced athlete and then you break your leg just because you got injured, right? So you got injured. The body does not punish you for being injured. The body knows, okay, this guy had a certain strength capacity. This person was a basketball player and they had a whole routine and their muscles are strong and all these things. Okay, they broke their leg. Man, they definitely can't play basketball now. Not even close. But the body does not punish you for getting injured or for taking time or for failure. Your body is designed to help close the gap between you from your injury to getting back out there to playing basketball. The same is true of your art. Let's say you took 5 years because you had to grieve your mother and you haven't written anything in 5 years. Your body knows that. And your body is designed to help you close the gap. So you think it took 5 years. And so now you think it's going to take 20 years to close the gap. No, your body's going to be like, man, let's go. Let's make this the quickest possible thing. Your body is designed to help you synthesize and process and communicate and help intercede the invisible supernatural dimension to the material dimension for you and help you synthesize and process, etc. Hey, how you doing? Your body is designed. Your body does not punish you for closing the gap. If you feel punished, if you feel disturbed in any way for taking time away from the creative process for whatever reason, that's your mind doing it. Your body does not give a shit. The body's been like, man, this motherfucker took 10 years away. How can we get him back out there in 2 months or less? Does that make sense? The body is designed to help you do that. The body's designed to help you maximize whatever you get from the first step, courageous step that you take from 0 to 1. Your body wants that first step to feel like going from 0 to 60 every single time. Does that make sense? Oh, I'm so glad, Eli. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I have a lot more to give. I'll do one more, then I got to go. The heart's primary design is to share. That's what I learned from the retreat. The way that this retreat was set up, and again, this is all pulling from the video that I created. You can watch the whole thing. It's about 40 minutes. The heart, its primary function, this critical organ of ours, the heart, is for connection and sharing. Tending to your heart, not the metaphor of the heart, your actual heart health. Tending to the fascia, tending to the heart health, tending to the tending to the body that supports cardiac health, even into the chakra system, the emotional, the energetic system of the heart, with breath work, being in nature, green, being around green things. That'll increase your capacity and your willingness to be seen. Your willingness to be seen is maintained in the body. Your body is, creativity is not chased, earned, or pursued. Creativity is hosted by a body. Your body is the host. The body is the location of creation on you, in you. I do not have time to talk about vices today, but because vices is a huge area for me in my work, or especially in the Villain Challenge. For the Villain Challenge for 30 days, everybody abstains from a vice. It's huge. Oh, thank you so much. Here's what I'll say about vices, and then I gotta go. That a vice occludes your gift. That we are creative, which means that we have our creativity is an umbilical cord back to God. That's what creativity is. Create is the activity of being godlike. Creativity. God is the creator. I'm creative, and then my work is to participate in creativity. All those vices are us microdosing on the divine. Using microdosing on something that feels in the mind-body complex like something that is like the ineffable mystery, but is in fact creates pain. And the pain, we use the pain to insulate us from the experience of the mystery, because the mystery is beyond, is challenges our capacity. But that's what this incarnation was to be challenged, and to endeavor towards the mystery. Who's the person with that pain quote? Do you remember the one that I was liking before? I don't know. It's not. It's gone. That we use pain to help us understand how great thou art. Just the purpose of this life is to endeavor to struggle within the density of materiality with our spiritual nature. Could you drop the quote again? I'm so glad, Kush. How often do I do villain challenges? A couple. I'll probably do one more in May before I do it again. Before I do it again, I probably won't do it again until September after May. I got to pause it for a while. She will understand. So here's how I answer vices. She will understand from the bottom of her heart, embellished by pain's engraving, how great thou art. Just how great thou art. I can't. I'm gonna write it down this time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't be fooled again. Richard Rohr is a Franciscan theologian. Is a Catholic theologian, and he says that addiction, vices, that there is a God-shaped hole in all of us, and it's God-shaped and God-sized. So you pour alcohol in the hole, trying to find the bottom, and you're like, what is that feeling that I crave? It's something. I remember it. It's exquisite. It's comfort. It's a high. It's radiance. It's a glow. It's something that I can't quite find on earth. What is it? So you keep pouring alcohol in it, or whatever we're all addicted to, and then you realize, man, not enough can fill. There's nothing to fill. There's nothing on earth that can fill it, and that's the punchline. Of course, nothing on earth can fill it. Come into my arms. It's a God-shaped hole, is what I would say. But I have a lot to say about that, but I got to go. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for the support. Last chance to subscribe, like. Go watch my old video, my most recent video about the body of work. I think you'll enjoy that based on the vibes of this call. Yeah. Thank you so much.